I'm just going to get right to it. So everybody, welcome to our second day of our first ever Alkali Beauty Alkalive event. My name is Danielle D'Alessio. I am your Director of Education. I am thrilled to be hosting today. Before we get started, I just want to remind you that from now until March 31st, you will receive 55% off $50 or more on your purchases on alkalibeauty.com using the code ALKALIVE. Everyone is also going to automatically be entered in a raffle to win the Alkali and Shark Fin Cheers. So make sure that you are keeping an eye on the Alkali Beauty page, because after the end of all of these events, I am going to be going live and I'm going to do a drawing, and I'm so excited to see who wins the raffle. I'm really hyped about this. So now I am going to turn everything over to our oh so fabulous Alchemist of the Year, Krista. Are you ready, girl?
I am super ready. Well, I hope I am. We're gonna go with it. Today's gonna be that day of just like let's learn, let's do some stuff.
Today is the day.
I'm super excited that you're actually like kind of here to help me too, because it's so weird not like seeing anybody or like, you know, seeing all the questions. So I'm excited for that. Thank you.
Well, you've already got people logged on in the chat being like, we're so excited to be here. And everyone's like, oh, your space looks so good. So why don't you get right down to it?
Okay. So today I am going to show you about negative spaces. I know you all have seen a lot of my work having that white silver spot in between either contrasting colors or you know, in the middle of a prism. So I'm going to kind of give you some tips and tricks on that, but also kind of showing you about, of course, all of our color line, like the color theory behind it. Because if you have a more of an orange base, you know, we want to get the hair as light enough so that we can get that true white, like negative space in these colors. So to get that platinum, I thankfully got a mannequin today. So I didn't have to lift anybody. I didn't have to worry about any canvas that's not going to be like priority. So this is the hair art one. I think I have Bianca. She's pretty cool. Her hair is really, really white already. So I'm not going to have to tone a lot. But I am going to show you a little bit about what I am doing today. So I kind of made this fancy little color wheel just to kind of show you why I'm choosing the colors that I am today.
I love that you made us a color wheel.
It's actually like, it's actually with the color I'm using too.
That's awesome.
So it's kind of just like finger painting. You know how like you just start smearing things together and you actually formulate. So I really like to do that. Is I just kind of like dab colors and just start making your own. Get creative with it. Be a child again. You know how like people, you know, kids just sit down and just smear color all over the place and they make this perfect, insane color. So
yeah,
this is how, you know, it starts. So I'm going to show you my palette today, which I am really excited about because I found this picture. I don't know if everybody, what inspires you to choose the colors that you do today? There's a lot of psychology behind that. You know, your emotions, your you know, that mood of the day. And I think it was like on a rainy day. Honestly, it was like a rainy day. And I was like, man, I can't wait until spring. And I can't wait until like, you know, but this array of color is something that I'm super attracted to. And it's kind of contrast. It's actually really contrasting. So I found this picture just going through it. I look at, you know, those movie color palettes that they have, like the whole scheme of the colors through the whole movie. So I found one of those, and this is the palette that I'm working with right here. So I have this like tealy, bluish, greenish and these are still really smoky, to this purple. And then I'm going to do my negative space to a yellow to a pink. So when you mix yellow with pink, it makes orange. So you also have another color in there with just the transition color. So I'm really excited for this. And I'll post to the actual picture that I am referencing to so that you guys can see the way my brain thinks.
Okay, perfect.
It's, but I did an extension, so I kind of want to show you.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's how it's going to come out. So you can do different placements with this. I'm going to do a prism placement on top of the platinum hair because I do want that high contrast on top, the veil, to really pop. So when I keep that silver white underneath, these colors are going to look insane.
That's going to look so good. Yeah.
So, but even if you just get some extensions off even Amazon or color swatches or anything, because you really want to see what your placement is going to be. Because this was another placement that I did. I do like it, but I didn't fall in love with it. So this is how I start my colors. So I kind of use these tools to help me visualize and actually see how it's going to come out. Because if I just try to do it, I want to see everything and pick different placements. So that just makes, better sense for me.
Very cool.
Yes. All right. So there's a couple things. I don't know what you guys all like to use to start prisms. If you use mesh, if you use like the clear color shield, whatever you guys like to use. I've even grabbed some of these like super basic, those highlighting sheets. You know how like they're shiny.
Oh yeah, cool.
So that's actually, you can use these, you can use mesh, you can use saran wrap, you can, anything that you can to keep that color separate. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to section her off. I already sectioned her off in that halo section. And so I started, she has kind of like a little bit of a side part. So with this side part, I want it to go on both sides. So if I did it straight down the middle, when I dropped this, there would be more color on the one side than there would be on the other. And it just wouldn't look even. And I'm kind of OCD about that stuff. So I used her part. And now I did that halo right where she's going to part. So even if you have your guest or whatever part on the other side, use exactly where they part, because then you'll get both colors on each side. So I'm going to kind of clip this back because, like I said, I want to keep this white underneath. So I do not want to get any color on it. So I am super excited about like rewatching everybody's lives from yesterday and stuff.
Everyone killed it yesterday, and Jordan just did a phenomenal class too. All of her barbering and stuff. Like everyone's doing great, and I'm really excited. I've been seeing all the wigs you've been making and all of the, you did your live with Ginny the other day, and it's nice to get to see you like in action doing what you do.
It's really fun. Like I really love doing lives and I really love teaching because it's been a passion of mine for so long. Like, when people ask you like, how do you do this? I'm just like, I don't know. I have so much information up here that I just want to like, just fill it out and like get it out and just, so it's really good to have those lives. And it's really good to have this education class because 2 days of education from like, look at all these amazing artists. Like that's insane.
I think it's one of the things too, like we do have the Alkamist auditions that are starting today. Yes. And one of the things is Nicole and I always joke and say we're basically everyone's Italian grandmas because we just kind of want to pinch everyone's cheek and brag about them. And that's why we were so excited to do something where we get to actually showcase you guys and have you guys be educators. And it's so exciting to see everyone, and just we're both, and like I know Michelle and Sarah and everyone, we're all just really proud of everyone. But I'm gonna stop bragging so we can get to Nicole's like, yep, proud Italian grandma.
It's awesome. It's like like the no personal space grandmas. Like I love it. If you guys were here, I'd hug the shit out of you. So.
Absolutely. All right, girl, get to it, homie.
Okay, so what I am going to do, I did wash her with Bay just to kind of get that more silvery tone in there. She really didn't need it, but I really like how 𝒌 makes everything feel. Especially with like my wigs and stuff. They come with like, some of them come with like a little bit of a coating on them so that they're nice and smooth, but they don't actually feel that smooth. So if you feel like a coating, 𝒌 is actually really good to use because it doesn't dry anything out and it just gives you that nice shimmery tone.
Perfect.
Yes. So, and I also prepped her with foreplay and unicorn milk. So these two products are probably my favorite products from Alkali Beauty, and the ones that actually drew me to Alkali was unicorn milk. So I will tell you about that in a second, but I am going to show you, I'm going to start this just so that I can get started and kind of talk while I'm working. So with this prism that I am going to do is I'm not going to do a traditional holographic prism. I'm going to kind of make them a little bit bigger. I'm going to keep my negative space a little bit wider, so that's more of the impact that I'm looking for. Instead of doing really small, like you can change the whole look of a prism. It depends on how big your sectioning is going to be for each color. So you can do tiny little sections to make it look crazy insane, or you can very even, you can space them out. This is super simple to get an extreme, like different color each time you do it. So you don't have to always have the same spaces for the colors. You can change them up. So I'm going to, I don't think like these little flyaways. I don't know if anybody does prisms and they have these little like strays that kind of drag across and then drag a darker color into a lighter color.
Yep.
So yep, this is going to absolutely help that because it does not hinder the pigment getting into the hair. So don't be afraid to use it before your vivid colors, especially when it's dry, because it's going to smooth those down and not have to work against you with the pigment allowing in the color.
Oh, that's a killer tip. I like that.
I use it, you know, when people see me do this in the salon, they're literally like, why are you spraying stuff on it? Well, because I'm getting all those little strays, those flyaways down, but it doesn't stop the pigment getting into the hair. So it's a great tip to use because it's so frustrating when you're trying to do something precise and then you get that stray, you know?
Oh my God, there's always the one rogue hair that just goes through the rainbow and you're like, oh,
you just want to cut it off because it's like just going all over the place. All right, so I am going to use these little 2-prong clips just to hold my mesh and to hold the placement so that I don't get any other color on the white hair underneath.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so today I'm going to use a mesh just because it's a little bit more bendable for me. And you want to make sure that the halo, whatever you're using, so these little papers are a little bit smaller. So if you're using smaller placements, like even if you're doing like prism baby lights or anything, and if you have this, you don't want to go bigger than what you're using. Because if that happens, you're going to get those strays that you're not going to have on here. You're going to have color bleeding, and then it's going to kind of be a mess. So control, I love control.
You and me both.
I like to get messy, but I also love to be like an organized mess, if that makes sense.
I 100% understand that. It's the controlled chaos.
It is the controlled chaos, and I love it. Love it. All right, so I am going to place a little bit of color just starting at the root, okay?
Perfect.
So when I start at the root, when you place this little bit of color right through here and you pull it down, it's going to secure on the mesh, and then you can secure on each side so that it doesn't move anywhere. So is everybody enjoying like all the education?
I think everybody's been really hyped about it. I've been loving seeing everyone posting like screenshots and like selfies of them watching the classes and stuff.
Oh my God, I love that.
It's so cute.
Love it.
I think it's good because it's like, it's been hard because we have to do everything digitally, but it's nice that there's still a way that we're still bringing everybody together.
Yes.
And I appreciate that. And I think I've been learning so much from everybody. So this has been phenomenal.
Well, because even though we go through and do like the same, you know, we get comfortable. We get comfortable doing the same stuff every single day, or, you know, and I am the queen of uncomfortable. Like, I don't know about anybody else in here, but like, if something feels way too comfortable, I have to change everything and like just way out of my comfort zone. So it still makes me grow. It still gets me creative.
Oh yeah, you have to be a little bit uncomfortable when you want to grow. That's how you know you're doing it.
That you literally have to be uncomfortable to make yourself grow as a person too. So I'm just going to secure these to start my prism.
Someone said, do you have any magical tricks for removing vivids from the scalp and skin?
So magical tricks, it's it always kind of like throws me back. I used to work on like dance moms and stuff on TV in LA. And whenever we would get color on things, so one of the girls would say, "Oh, just use a little Windex. It's okay." So that pops in my head every time everybody says magical stuff. But there's also, I also use Fremar the Dye Defender. If this was a real person and you don't want to use Windex, trust me, to get it off. It's okay. But you can also use the Fremar Dye Defender. That stuff is really good because it doesn't make a person break out either. So I'm really like I'm always weary about that. You know what I mean? Is anything going on my skin that's actually going to break me out? Like I see like, you know, some people that use like different things to hold masks like to the face and stuff. And it just, a lot of people are very, very sensitive. So you don't want to put any of your clients or anything in like a realm of like they can break out from anything that you're using. So always definitely it's people are super sensitive to things anymore.
I don't know. I actually use a little bit of penetrate around the hairline. Yeah, you can totally, and like I'll do penetrate or lux just as like a little barrier, and that's
oh god, I love lux. I love lux.
Same.
Love it. Okay, so this is going to hold everything down, and with the unicorn milk that I just sprayed, it gets all of those little tiny like things down. So I'm just going to start this, get a good base, because I know my sectioning over here is going to need some color to hold. So even if you don't have any hair over there yet, because she sectioned, you know, on a part, is still paint it, because when you're going to drop down that next section, you're going to need something to hold it. So I don't know if everybody uses gloves here, but I usually don't. Which sometimes that's terrible, but then you can kind of, you know, when you get your nails done, they're like, "Oh, what'd you do today?" And I'm just like, "Oh, level 4."
That hairstylist manicure though.
Seriously. So the tricky part about prisms is just starting them. So you want to make sure everything's secure, everything's set down. So now I'm going to go into my negative space. So now that I have like a good blend right here, is I am just going to hold this and I'm going to blend this purple down just a little bit, because when you have a negative space, you want to make sure that you don't have a line of color so it's not hard to blend. So I do take a lot of product with my negative space too, because this is going to be where I'm going to have the most impact. So I really want to saturate that so that even if a stray goes in and out, I don't want anything to get into that space. So I'm going to kind of make this a little bit bigger. Like I said, I want this to be the focal point of my color. You can make them smaller. You can put a negative space in between each color, however you want to do your placement. But for this one, I want it to really be the focal point. And today I am using Pulp Riot. Just, I love the conditioning. I love the blendability. So if anybody has any questions about the formulas at all, I can talk about that too. And this yellow is super pigmented. So I used satire with this. So when I'm doing this negative space, when I'm starting off, see that line right there? I don't want that to happen. So with my colors, I really, really blend them. So I go in after each application and kind of just mesh that together and diffuse that line of demarcation.
Yeah, someone's saying they're like, I never thought of blending with my fingers. It makes so much sense.
Oh, it makes so much sense. But if you don't want to blend with your finger, if you want, they have those little like spongy makeup brushes too, or any of those like foamy ones, they work too, because if you get them a little bit wet, you can kind of just diffuse that line real quick. And if you have longer hair and you're like running out of room with your mesh, your paper, or anything, just dab a little bit of color on your next piece and stick it right to there. And you just made your panel able to be longer for your layers that are going to come forward.
I never thought to put dye on the back of that. Oh, you evil genius. I love it.
Absolutely. It saves so much because, like, you know how you're in the middle of like doing something and you need a longer piece and you're like, oh my God, like, where's the piece of tape? Like, come on. So
that's
just
usually when I get interactive with a client, yes. I'm like, just hold this.
Right. And then we don't want to do that, because then they're going to mush it. They're going to pull it some way because there's like a tension, you know what I mean? They're going to not even think about like how much tension they're using.
Yep. Oh, that's such a good, and someone's saying good idea with the makeup sponge.
Yeah, it's actually, I've tried everything just because I like to know what works best. So if, you know, one thing works well for me, it might not work for everybody else, but you can try it. You can add it into, you know, whatever you're doing and make your own technique out of it. So I am going to take my next section down. So you want to make sure that these sections are super small. So prisms do take a long time, but they're completely worth it because of the outcome that you get out of each one, even if you do them differently. So I'm always pinning this top back just so that it doesn't flop forward and it doesn't go right to the work that I've already done. So each time I do spray unicorn milk. Now, unicorn milk, heaven send product. Legit saved my life. And I'm not even kidding. Like, legit saved my hair, because I actually had white blonde hair. So I'll give you a little story of why I chose unicorn milk and what led me to Alkali and everything else, because some people know it, some people don't, but I will forever rave about this product because it is literally saved my hair. So I had white blonde hair down to about the middle of my back. And I had it for about 3 years. So, and I'm going to secure this with the yellow right now, just so that as I'm painting my prism, it doesn't come up. So I had about, for about 3 years, I had white blonde hair, beautiful, long, middle of my back. And then I bought a house that had well water. So I don't know if any of you have been introduced to the awesome well water and white blonde hair, fine hair, thin hair. It literally breaks it up if you don't control everything that's going on in your hair with products.
Well, water is definitely the worst.
It's literally like, it's so good because it doesn't have like the processed stuff. It doesn't have the chlorine, it doesn't have anything like that, but it's the minerals that literally stay on your hair and react to anything. So any of my clients that are coming in for vivids, blondes, anything, I have to deneutralize those minerals before I even do anything. Because if you put lightener on anything that has a mineral buildup on it, it'll literally like really puff up your lightener and get really hot in foils. I mean, everybody's probably seen or it's had it happen to them that they literally like it fluffs up and it like no good. which
Yeah.
also I use the midnight shampoo.
You were just going to say that Nicole was popping in and I was automatically thinking that too.
Because that takes off the mineral buildup with the black clay and the activated charcoal. So that has been in my daily regimen along with unicorn milk and foreplay. So with that, the unicorn milk, because it has the CBD in it, all the beneficial properties that this product has in it, it allows it to actually go where it needs to and heals it from the inside out. So it's not a product that sits on the hair. It actually penetrates and goes in and then heals everything inside. And after the first time that I use it, because I've tried everything, I've literally tried every single product that said, this is going to help your hair. This is going to, prevent all breakage. It's going to strengthen. Never did, except this one. So this is a product that really allowed me and my hair to start healing after everything that happened from the well water. So my lifesaver, legit lifesaver.
Oh, for sure.
We had, so my shop is Infinite Alchemy, and I had 𝒔𝒊𝒕𝒉 do a class on kinetic painting. And she was the one when I first started, talking about a class at the shop, because I wanted it to be my first class. I wanted, people from all over to come and experience 𝒔𝒊𝒕𝒉. So she was the one that started talking. She was like, watch out for a product that we're collabing with Alkali with. And I was like, okay. And once it came out, I was like, I'm sold. So I bought it, got that beautiful packaging that when they first sent everything out, and like, it's like, when you open a box and it's like, ah.
That's exactly it. You got that unicorn magic. And I
Literally.
know too, not that we can say a whole heck of a lot, but I know you've gotten to try out one of the products that we have that's going to be dropping soon.
Yes,
that is a lifesaver, and it's really hard for me to keep secrets, and it's kind of killing me. I can't say more. And I know you're kind of the same way right now.
Oh my God.
Everyone needs to keep their eyeballs open.
Mm-hmm. So I've been testing it for the past probably like month.
It's so good.
I know I can't say a lot about it, but anybody that I like, when you want me to test a product and figure out what is good and what's not, I will test it every way possible. I've used it wet, dry, finishing, starting, thin hair, thick hair, coarse hair. It is unbelievable.
See, you shouldn't have told me that, because now I'm going to be sending you sheets to fill out, because I'm the nerd that is in the alkali group that's like, all right, guys, let's fill out this form. What'd you do today? And they all roll their eyes like, oh God, not again. But now that I know you'll do it.
I will fill out whatever you want me to. What else do you need? Yeah. Social Security, blood type, blood drug. What?
Well, maybe we don't give out Social Security. This is not a Facebook scam.
Not a Facebook.
But what I was going to say too, I know we kind of touched on Alkamob auditions, but the other thing that's really cool is Krista is our first ever Alkamist of the Year, and that's kind of why she gets to test some of the products, and she's gotten to do some really rad things. So if you want to even talk about Alkamist of the Year a little bit, you're the perfect person to kind of touch on that.
Well, since, like I said, when I first started getting with alkali after I found unicorn milk, I pretty much have like just gone hard for it, because as soon as like I started talking to the Alkamob, the Inner Circle, everybody when I first started, they're so supportive. So like, you guys are just we're so drawing, you know what I mean? You immediately was like, what do you need? This company and everybody that is involved has been absolutely amazing. And so when I started really going for Alkamist of the Year, I made it one of my goals, because I wanted to be a part of a bigger collection of a group of individuals that just were so tight knit. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are all phenomenal. You guys, it's literally like, I can't even tell you how much I love all of you, just because like,
oh, you guys are love you, Krista. We like
true to each other and like fun and welcoming. Like there has not been anybody else that just is like, oh my gosh, let's open arms, my Italian grandma is like, and just cut, you know, like you guys are all amazing. But so the Alkamist of the Year is really, really amazing. And I'm so like honored and grateful to be the first one. I kind of like going up at, you know, along with all these other artists that are so amazing. I never thought that I would be chosen. Like in top 5 rolled around, and then everybody starts voting. My notifications were going crazy all day, and it was just that timing that I needed for like something absolutely amazing to happen, and it just was there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, and I was going through nobody even knew. Like I was going through a really rough time at that time. And there was some things that were changing in my life that I was very like uneasy about, I guess you can say, but everything does happen for a reason. And it literally launched me into like this powerful energy that was just like, you know what, no matter what happens, like something was there that just happens for you. And it's when you needed it the most. And Alkali has been that, you know? So through that, I've also, you know, really met up with 𝒘𝒊𝒕𝒉. I'm now an ambassador with them. I test products for Alkali. You know, anything that you guys ever want me to do, I do. So it's just awesome to be such a big part of this company and this, you know, amazing people that you all are. So it has opened up a lot of doors, but it has opened up a lot of doors personally for me. Because when you push yourself so hard and, you know, you just kind of like, are like, oh, you know, this person, I want to, you know, I can't believe this person's doing such crazy, amazing work. And I felt like I wasn't pushing my best out, but like, because I was just being my own critic, like I criticized myself way too much. So at that time, it was like, oh my gosh, they chose me. You know what I mean? Everybody chose me. And it was crazy. Like, I'm still kind of speechless about it. I don't know, because like, it's that overwhelming feeling, you know what I mean? That was just like, oh my God, what? Like, I think I like fell on the floor. I was like,
you did.
You know,
I harassed you before, and I had Krista as an interview that I made her do on YouTube talking about Alkamist of the Year, and I definitely inserted a clip of her falling to the ground when she found out about that. I am going to let you know you're at your half-hour mark.
Okay, cool.
So man, we could talk all day.
So I can literally talk all day while I'm working. So but it's awesome. All right, so let's get down to actual like product wise. So why I use unicorn milk is for that reason, is because it is absolutely amazing. It, you know, I can use it pre, post, before styling, after styling, eczema, sunburn, anything. My makeup brushes felt dry this morning, so I sprayed it with unicorn milk and they were fine. I think like
that is such a good idea.
Yeah, like it literally, you can use unicorn milk. My 7-year-old literally uses it in his hair every single day before school. Every day. My now fiance uses it in his beard, in his hair. It helps with his curls. It keeps everything intact, like the frizz. Oh, it's just an unbelievable product. So what else do I talk about? Foreplay. Okay. So Foreplay is the other product that I used to prep her with, because UVA, UVB protected. Okay. It also is a porosity filler, it's a detangler. It primes everything so that I use it in conjunction with unicorn milk, and it doesn't, this pigment is not going to be hollow or anything like that, because it actually fills in everything so that your colors actually go on nice and smooth and even.
Yeah, it's basically the spackle before you paint. It's like the most perfect product.
It fills in the
great
hole.
At the back bar.
It literally fills in the holes. Like, yes, on the back bar, you can literally spray it into their hair while it's wet before you start to even like detangle and everything. And let's see. So I also want to talk about, I know a lot of people on here do vivid colors too. And
sure.
So how do you get them to not wash their hair every day? Because you all know when you start washing your hair every day, and your awesome vivid colors start fading super fast, that's why. Is because you're washing every single day. What my clients go home with, you know, a little take home sheet that kind of gives them aftercare. So only wash in cold water. Only wash. I use Extend shampoo and conditioner because it doesn't, you know, it makes it last a lot longer. But Fresh is the other one that all of my Vivid clients go home with because it has aloe in it. The only dry conditioner or dry shampoo that doesn't make my skin like itch and like I'm so kind of very, very sensitive to everything. So that is like the main dry shampoo that I will always use because it doesn't make me itchy.
Lisa just typed in that she threatens to beat her clients if they wash their hair every day, and I've been trying not to laugh with that.
So when you're like, you know, telling your client, you're like, all right, listen, you really got to not wash your hair. And they're like, what? You know, get them to take home the dry shampoo because it is absolutely amazing. It doesn't give it a buildup. It actually takes, it's kind of like a clarifier for the scalp, a little one. And it absorbs all the oils, but it doesn't make you itchy, you know, and it doesn't leave that white residue, you know, when somebody comes in and they look antiqued, that doesn't happen. So that's amazing too. I don't know if you guys can see all my little setups over here. Let's see. So we have
all the things happening. I love it.
The UVB protection, detangler, strengthen by Unicorn Milk. So these are kind of some just like pinpoints that if you want to screenshot just so that you can kind of, you know, have that right at your fingertips.
You know, after the class, can you take a couple of pictures of them and post them in your stories? Because I would legitimately love to share that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because this also, with your Fresh too, it also has like vitamin C. It has a matte finish. So it's not going to leave you like crispy and antiqued and like just looking like you didn't, you know, you have dandruff and everything. That's not going to happen with this. It's absolutely awesome. And it also creates volume. So if you spray it in little sections and then you get in there with your hands, it's like you just wash your hair.
Yeah, that is, I think those are the things I know for myself in the salon because I do a lot of Vivids as well.
Yeah.
I mostly sell Extend shampoo and conditioner, Unicorn Milk, and Fresh.
Yes.
Because you want to make sure I think my favorite analogy I ever heard is you don't want to buy a cashmere sweater and go home and wash it in palm olive. So, right? Like who would do that? The audacity. So you want to protect that investment.
Do you remember the clients that come in and they're like, yeah, I use Pantene.
Oh, the audacity.
And I'm just like, oh, get out of my chair. No, I'm joking.
Get out. You're fine.
Get out right now. No, but what I do tend to tell them, I say, you know, you're spending this much on your hair for a Vivid. I don't know if like in certain areas, you're probably charging different between, I would say 65 to 100, you know, you have a wide range of pricing. So if somebody's going to come in and spend 6 or 7 hours with you, I usually do like 95 an hour straight. Everything's included. I have no bars that I have to skimp on. You know what I mean? They understand that they're taking a full day with me. If you're going to invest in your hair that much, you want to invest in the products that is going to keep it up.
Absolutely. And I think, can you even talk about, because I know this is something that you and I have chatted about as well, but how you charge for your Vivid services, because I think that's a really good thing for everybody to know about and talk about as well.
Well, I just went through that transition of like, am I charging enough? Like what is your worth? You know, I'm not in different regions. There's so many different pricings because you have to look at, you know, what city you're in, you know, what the demographic is. You know, if you're somebody that's in LA that is a Vivid specialist, you're going to be completely charging more than somebody in a country rural area that doesn't have all those clients. You know what I mean? So you have to price point to get the people that sit in your chair to be consistent, because Vivids can be your bread and butter. They can. Absolutely. I don't want, you know, I've heard people before saying that Vivid will never make you money. Actually, they will, because even though your Vivid services don't come in every maybe 6 to 8 weeks, 12 weeks, they're spending more money in the next session. So it makes up for the sessions in between, right?
Yeah.
They're also buying products for you. They're also buying color bombs to keep it refreshed in between services. So your price point you have to know your worth in this industry too. You're not going to, something like this, takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of education that I've done. I do education all the time because I never stop, even though like I do Vivids every single day almost. I never stop educating myself. So that adds to my worth. That adds to what I have to do to keep you guys informed and to keep all my clients and my guests in my chair top notch. So you have to charge what you're worth. So I started to do about 95 an hour. It depends on technique. It depends on how long I know it's going to take. If I have to, if I'm doing somebody every 6 months, they're really informed that $100 an hour usually is my rate. If it's something that's very technical, if it's something that's, going to take an extra amount of time, but because I have to section certain ways because I want the control, I'll knock off a few hours because of that. And, then it goes straight forward. So they're well aware to come and sit in my chair for 7, 8 hours, knowing that like, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to take a little bit longer, but I'm going to knock off 2 hours because of that. You know what I mean? So
no, that makes sense. And I think it's easier for a consultation as well. Cause the thing that happens is you get a DM on Instagram, like, I'm looking at this hair and this is what this looks like. How much? And you're like, oh boy. So that definitely helps.
You have to really, we are in this industry right now we are a luxury service. We are not essential. I know some people think we are. Some people we are to them. They are to us. But we are still a luxury service. Absolutely. So people, you want to get people in your chair to make them best informed on what we can do with their hair at a certain time, certain budget. So yes, consultation is 100%. I ask literally, like, I'll sit and do a consultation for a half hour, 45 minutes before I even book them. Because I want to know even if our energies and our vibe. Because if I don't feel comfortable with somebody, I'm not going to feel comfortable having them sit in my chair either. So you want to also make sure that that person that is coming to you, you guys vibe together. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to have somebody sit in your chair that you are very nervous with, you are very, uneasy with, because then you're not going to push out your best work.
No, that's fantastic. And that's really good to hear about, like, how you do your pricing and how you do your consultations. We have a whole bunch of people that are like, my goal is to have Vivids as my bread and butter. And you have a lot of people that do Vivids too. Someone asked, what do you say when you're not comfortable? Like if you have someone in your chair that you're kind of maybe not vibing with, or that's a really if you're like, oh, that ain't going to work.
Well, you have to let them down, like, easy. No, but that's a really, really good question because, when you're starting to really build your book, you don't really pay attention to the people that make you uncomfortable or uneasy. Those people, you just don't, your energy's don't vibe. It doesn't matter, like it doesn't matter. Like, this person is this, I didn't even know that person. We just don't connect. You know what I mean? So if I get somebody in my chair and we're kind of going back and forth and something's just not jiving, I honestly break it down for them. And you have to be honest with people, because when you're honest with people, it kind of leaves less room for like the backlash. You know what I mean? So to just put it to them, I usually say, well, from our consultation, like, I just don't know if I can give you the best that you want, or maybe your maintenance, or maybe your budget, but I know somebody who can, and you have to kind of support other people in your area as well. So if I know I'm not going to do my best on somebody, I'm not going to do it. So I'm going to say, okay, you want this white blonde balayage from black to white? Most of the time I won't do that. You know what I mean? Unless it has been my client and they know like certain processes, they know how to take care of it. But if I know somebody else is going to do it better than me, I will push them towards that. Just because I know that they'll probably take care of them a little bit better than what I can do.
That's great though. Like I like that you actually have an approach and the way that you
Yeah.
do that too. You're not just flat out like, nah, bro, bye.
No.
You're still doing something where you're taking care of them as well.
Yeah,
So that's
absolutely. Because
that's
you want
really
them, they'll
awesome.
come back to you if they need anything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they go to somebody else and have a consultation and they're not driving with them, they're going to come back to you and say, you know what? You were completely honest with me. Now let me listen to you and see what's best for my hair. Maybe we can come up with something that you can see differently than just what I want. Because it's, if anything's going to, you know, compromise the integrity of the hair either, I'm not going to do it because it's my work. You know, you work so hard in this industry. So know your worth and know that you can always say no. That is my, like, you can say no, you know? So don't be afraid to. They're going to respect you more for saying, no, I can't do this or anything than trying to go along with it and ultimately not giving them, you know, what they want and making them happy.
And if they didn't respect you, you dodged a bullet there.
Exactly.
I'm going to let you know too, we're at the 45-minute mark.
Okay.
This is looking gorgeous though. I really like
No.
seeing like how you have like the warm and the cool and that contrast and stuff. Like this is going to be phenomenal.
You know, I'm really excited for this color palette because, you know, like I said, when I was looking at certain things, this just kind of popped my eye out and I can't wait to finish this. So I know, like, you know, I'll be stopping and talking and whatever, but once I, you know, get off here and finish all of this, like I will be absolutely taking pictures and posting it and showing what the outcome was because I really want you guys to use your fingers, get dirty. Like literally everyone's so afraid to like get dirty and stuff. Mesh those together because you can get an amazing blend without having that harsh line of demarcation. And I love seeing the holographic hair that has that really, like Ginny and I's live that we did that really straight line. I normally don't do that. So I usually blend like this to make it one very cohesive panel. But if you want to get those really stark lines, use your unicorn milk and make sure you have all those little tiny hairs in place so that you can get those really sharp lines and give it a completely different look. Because if I did this and did a sharp line, it would look completely different than what I'm doing now. Maybe I'll do that after I'm done. Because I'll show you on an extension what like a really harsh line would look like compared to doing it something like this.
You are just the Energizer Bunny there. Like, nope, let me just throw this in the mix too. Like, what else can I do?
You know what? Like, yeah, absolutely. I have a wig over here that I want to show you because it's also a negative space too. But then you guys can actually see certain things.
I love that.
So this is one of my wigs that I did during my lockdown. So this is a negative space too, but instead of it keeping underneath like this silver that I'm keeping under here, is I went ahead and did a different color.
Oh, that's so cool.
Pink and purple. And then you can't really see it like when it's, but if I pulled this back, you have those really, really high contrast colors.
That is so cool. Well, now I want a wig, Krista.
I will make you a wig.
God,
I love making, I have like 4 of them already prepped because I didn't know if I was going to do a mannequin or a wig today. And I just might get creative and just do another one.
I'm just saying, if you are coming to Symposium,
I am,
which is going to be in September, and that's where we're going to be announcing Alkamist of the Year. And again, it's another mob exclusive event. You're going to need to bring us all wigs. Like we are going to go and do karaoke and wear wigs.
Slumber party. I'll keep them all.
Oh my God, I'm painfully hyped about that now.
I'm hugging everybody, just so y'all know too.
Yep, we're ready. Oh yeah, everyone is now sitting there like wigs and karaoke. Yes. So aside from education and product knowledge and stuff, we're just gonna have a really killer time in California.
I'm really excited because I used to live in California.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I get to kind of, West Coast has like my heart. I love the East Coast and I love Pennsylvania with the mountains and how calm it is, but we used to live in LA and it's just like Venice Beach has like a part of my soul. Like it's amazing.
Oh, someone's asking, where do you get your wigs and your mannequins from?
Sure. So I got this mannequin from Hair Art, which they have really nice quality mannequins. The hair is super soft. It's very workable. So I'm not worried about the ones that I used to use in beauty school like 13 years ago, you know? So
Deborah mannequin. Yeah.
Oh God, they were terrible. We had to use like Wella color on them. Oh gosh, it was so splotchy. But on my wigs, so if I'm just trying new techniques, and if I just really want to throw like my comfort to the wind, like I'll just grab a couple off Amazon, like some higher quality ones. You know, they have like a range from like probably like 80 to like 150, depending on length, density, everything. But there's other wigs that I do use because I do sell them too. And I do donate them as well, either to, like if somebody, one of my clients knows somebody that has cancer or anything like that, like that's really kind of close to me.
Oh,
so I'll
so
donate
nice
like a wig so that they can have, you know, fun hair. Like who doesn't want to have fun hair? So I get the higher, like quality ones on them. And what I can do is I can also pull up some links and like screenshot it and I'll send it to you. You can add it right to the video.
That's perfect. Yeah. And honestly, like I said too, like you'll be taking all of your after photos and we'll be hyping you up. I know Jess has been making videos of like, she did the day one stuff. So we'll be able to post all of these tomorrow because I've been so excited about everything that everyone is doing. And I know after you, we have Naomi, who's going to be doing editorial styling. And I know,
I actually can't. I'm
dying to see that.
Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to be finishing this while watching her. Like, I can't wait. Yeah. Because the editorial stuff that she does is absolutely phenomenal. Like, it reminds me of like Marie Antoinette stuff. And like, she can do all that. So like, she is fantastic. Like, just fantastic.
Yeah, one of the great things with being in the Alka mob is we do have a WhatsApp chat that anyone in the mob can be a part of. And Naomi's been sending like pictures of like everything she's
I know, I saw her when I was getting ready. I'm like, oh, I can't wait.
I know, so cool.
I'm super excited for these 2 days. Like it's been like we've just been looking forward to this and you know, seeing everybody like actually in their element and like not just doing a video that they're not like interacting with people, because you can obviously tell like from my YouTube video that I was completely alone, not with anybody else. Like it's just a different feel. And I love how you guys have set up this education for these 2 days. And so excited about like the giveaways and stuff, like shark fin shears. I have monarchs, I have the alkali collab ones. They are awesome.
Oh yeah, I've got the alkali shears. They're my big girl shear because they're like the 6.2 inch ones. Because I always used to use the teeny tiny ones, and now I get a whole lot more work done.
And I used to use like the 6-inch too, and I got the 7-inch monarchs.
That's what I'm gonna probably get now.
First set of swivels, and honestly, my wrists, even just from starting to use shark fin shears, like have not hurt as bad as they used to. And I used to use like just ones from like either Joelle or anything. My wrists always hurt, you know? And now like, I feel like I'm more comfortable behind the chair because I'm not in pain.
Same. No, I feel you with that. Well, we are getting
wrong. It's kind of like, all right, now I need a better shear that's going to fit me, you know?
Oh, for sure. I'm super excited to see who's going to win this raffle later.
I know. Maybe we'll throw in a wig too. So
girl, are we still thinking of doing that?
Yeah, I was thinking about it, but like because I wanted to like see a face and stuff, and I just didn't want to, you know, get all dolled up and do it. It's actually Daniel's birthday today, so after this, we're gonna spend some time together with the family and everything. But why not? Let's throw a wig in there.
You know what then, Krista? Why don't you, when you are done with all this, send me a picture of a wig and we will throw this in the mix and do this as a giveaway tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Because honestly, what else am I doing with my time?
You're just handling it like a boss. That's what you're doing.
Well, we're getting pretty
awesome. You guys seriously. Does anybody have questions about like anything else that I'm doing? Because I know if you're doing a prism, don't take the whole section and clip it. like I subsectioned it so that I have more control, that I'm not trying to flip all around all this hair on top, is I subsection them. So I have like 3 sections in top of my prism so that I work in smaller sections.
Very cool. I was going to say we're getting pretty close to finishing all this.
You're having fun.
I know it's really hard. I told you this was going to go quick. It's amazing how much fun you get to have while doing all this stuff. And I'm now really excited that you're going to do a wig giveaway. I'm like painfully hyped about that. That's so cool. Oh, we love you, Krista.
Well, you know what? Like I have a week off, and if I like don't do anything creative, I'll probably go crazy. So why not?
Yeah, you fit right in with all of us.
I know, right? We're all like crazy workhorses that just want to stay creative, and when let's throw a wig in there.
Perfect. So you know what? I'm going to start closing this out, and you're going to take some after photos of all of this. You're going to send pictures of whichever wig that you decide that you want to give away, and we'll do all that tomorrow because that'll be super duper fun.
Yeah, I'll probably have some leftover color, so maybe I'll just do this like color scheme and maybe just add like another color, and we'll do it up.
I love that. It's going to be like a fun surprise. Thank you so much, Krista. We really, we appreciate you for taking the time to do this. We love you as our Alkamist of the year, and that you've got some big shoes to fill. So it's going to be fun to see who's going to be doing all of that. Up next,
I'm so excited.
Naomi. Make sure you are keeping an eye on our stories after this, because we will be doing our raffle later for shears. And now you got to keep an eye out for tomorrow, because we've got another giveaway to throw in the mix. So I'm hyped about that.
Yeah, let's make it real exciting.
Oh, for sure. Everyone's like really excited to see the after photos. So I'm gonna let you keep working away there, and then we will see everybody for the next class. Thank you all so much.
If anybody has any questions, they can absolutely DM me at any time too.
Perfect. So it's Krista Hannon Hair.
Yeah, Krista_Hannon_hair on Instagram. Perfect. I'll change that once we get married and stuff, but I'm going to try to start to maybe incorporate that already. So
don't you dare change it until after this event, though. I can't handle changing any more flyers. All right, Krista, we'll talk to you soon. Okay.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.